Hi, I'm Dave Spaulding from Handgun Combatives, and prior to forming my training company, I was in law enforcement for 3.5 decades in a number of functions and capacities and agencies. And over the years, it's given me time to think about a lot of the things we do traditionally. I always liked the term karate in a can because it seemed like every training company and every vendor was trying to come up a way to administer force nicely. Well, companies that are out there, let me give you a little clue. You cannot administer force nicely. You cannot force someone to do something physically and not expect to hurt them in some way. It's impossible. Doesn't mean we haven't tried, and a lot of the tools that I've seen come and go. Hickory batons, PR-24s, persuaders, defenders, CN, CS, pepper spray of various configurations, tasers, all the various things we've done trying to basically put the phaser on stun. Now, the phaser on stun would be a pretty cool device, but it doesn't exist. But it's oftentimes made me wonder, at what point are we going to stop and we are just going to train our officers? I realize that force can look brutal on video, but so often it's not near as bad as it actually affects the person that's struck. Let me give you an example. A hammer fist to the bridge of someone's nose. You're getting into a fight and boom, you hit him. You're not going to drive the nose bone up into the brain and kill the person like Hollywood would believe you to believe. Basically, you're going to stun them. You may break their nose a little bit, which is no big deal. They're not going to do anything but set it and let them go on their way. But their eyes are going to tear, but they're going to be ineffective or less capable of fighting back. But that looks cruel, mean, and heartless. It looks brutal. But it's easy to train somebody. I can train somebody in a hammer fist in about 15 minutes, and they'll retain that skill for a long time, but we don't like that. So what do? We come up with a tool like a taser. And I'm not bashing on the idea of the taser and electronic charge incapacitating someone, but is its level of effectiveness, percentage-wise, as effective of doing something like that? And how much of a training program and how much expense goes into something like that? Just so we can hit them with the taser, they get shocked and they fall on their face and get basically the same effect. Now, does that make sense to anybody? Now again, I'm not anti-device. I'm pro-training cops to win. And if we're only going to get them at in-service training twice, 3 times a year, then that training has to be effective, it has to be simple, and it has to work on the street in a real duress-filled environment. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the karate in a can tools I've seen come and go over the years, well, they're not around any longer, and there's a reason for that.